Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're finally returning with some daily uploads. So as you guys have probably seen on the channel, it's been really sketched in terms of upload schedule, probably like a couple of videos in the past 2 weeks, but we have been busy with the World Finals in Paris, and then when I got back, extremely sick, so I wasn't able to really upload anything. But there's a lot of things to catch up on. Probably the biggest news for the year, right, considering last year, like, we had the gears. Now we have a complete change to the progression system in Brawl Stars, which is just going to be, I won't really say scary, probably scary to a few people, but it's a nice change. I'll go through all of my thoughts throughout the whole video, but mainly we're going to be talking about just what's on the screen. So we have this progression with the community where you can literally follow it in game, which is pretty cool. I love things like this. Hopefully we can continue doing things like this, because it obviously makes the game a lot more active. Like Frank on Twitter was already saying that the numbers are sky high in terms of users playing the game, because everyone wants Mr. Megabox as soon as possible, right? So as you can see, the community just needs to get 4 billion takedowns as a whole, which I feel like, you know, there's already 1 billion after 2 days. You know, the weekend, people are probably going to be playing a little bit more the weekend. We're probably going to be seeing Mr. Megabox before Brawl Talk on the 7th, right? So that'd be pretty exciting for sure. But it's just interesting to see what's actually going to be in this Mega Box, because there's obviously a lot of speculation whether it's going to be like 100 boxes into one, whether it's just going to be like 50, whether you're just going to get gems. I have no idea what's going to be inside this Mega Box, but it was basically confirmed on Twitter by Danny that, like, the Mega Box is called the Mega Box because it's like the final box, which it's pretty weird. Like, we've been waiting for like a new box for a long time. You know, there's only been a Brawl box, big box, Mega Box for such a long time. I was crying out for a brand new box, and I finally got it, but then they're going to completely rework everything. So there's a lot of question marks, right? What's going to happen to the Brawl Pass? What's going to happen to the progression system? There's just so much to dive in and talk about, and we don't really know any true answers until a few days at a time. So also as well, you know, the point of this video, it's also going to be highlighting this broken Buster build. Like, the fact that Buster's already like a top brawler, and then they just go ahead and give him such an insane gadget that pulls people towards him for 2 seconds. This is just insane. So this other gadget used to be pretty good, but now it only heals you and your allies 500 health. You know, it's not really that great. Like 1,000 health when you're next to someone, like, it's very rare you're going to get all your teammates like together, and that's only 1,500 HP. You know, it's not really the most, right? It's not going to boost you too much, but this one's going to be really good. It not only pulls people towards him, it slows them down, but it's also got, obviously, like kind of stun knockback effect, where in Brawl you can make the change of possession a lot easier. So if someone's trying to walk it in, you can pop the gadget and remove the ball from their hands. So that's a pretty OP factor, which Buster, of course, didn't really have, which a lot of tanks do have. So then you've also got his other star power. So this one, you know, it actually is pretty pointless. I never really saw a use for that one. So the second star power is definitely going to be better. 20% less damage, and you're immune to knockback, slows, and stuns. So any Gale, like, stuns, anything like that, you know, he's still going to be keeping his super, which is pretty OP. So before we jump into the video, then make sure you're using the correct code. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, guys, jumping into the first game then. So of course, the first game I'm going to be talking about Buster, whether I think he's still one of the best brawlers inside of a game, and also just overall talking about his new star power and gadget, even though it's been a few days since his release. So that's a really fantastic goal by the Max, by the way. But as I was saying, like, this build is really good. The thing about Buster, though, he's nowhere near as strong as he was on first release. Like, first release, he just ran through everything. Even in like the draft stage, he was still like a brawler you could pick into literally everything. But now you have to more consider him towards the end, because people have learned his counters. You know, there are a few brawlers that can definitely take him down. You know, brawlers that can close the gap. You know, even fellow tanks as well going to have a good matchup against Buster. So that is my kind of take on Buster right now. But definitely he is really strong on ladder. You know, if you pair him with like a Max, Poco, it can be really hard for the opponents to really do anything. So should be able to take down the Griff right here. And we got the health gear ready to get us back to, okay, not just yet. Pretty much full HP pretty soon. So yeah, Buster, I think, is still pretty OP. Let me know what type of videos, of course, you want to see before Brawl Talk, because, of course, I'd like to do like maybe an end of meta, just top 10 brawlers, because, of course, with Brawl Talk coming out and with an update coming soon, of course, there's going to be some type of balance changes. So probably need to do like my final top 10 for this meta. You also have balance changes, I could do a balance change video. That could be pretty interesting as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about with this update. You've also just got the progression system, which we've seen a little bit in the small video that they did on Twitter, which of course isn't like the normal convenient one. It's going to be quite a big change. Like it's going to be Star Road or something. You know, we have Trophy Road changing, we have the whole Brawl Pass changing. There's going to be a ton of changes. So you know, it's pretty hard to predict what they're actually going to do, but it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. I like the fact that they're kind of staying away from this kind of like, I don't know if you can really call it gambling, but obviously there's a ton of games which require like a lot of luck out of these loot boxes, which I think in the next few years you'll see hardly any games go through that kind of, don't even know what you call it, but you just won't see any games do that anymore, because a lot of games are switching away from it. But we should be able to go into overtime here. Unfortunately, we've got a black screen. It's going to be pretty hard as a Buster to really do anything against this composition. I thought we could have held off, but that surge just charged on us like crazy right here. But I do love just the mechanics with Buster overall, specifically when my teammates can just sit behind me with that shield. And I just don't know how my teammates haven't scored right here. Hopefully they can make something happen towards the end right here. You know, I'd be pretty ashamed if we somehow didn't manage to score this one. Max isn't going to be able to score, and yeah, this is looking pretty bleak for our chances of winning this game, unless I can get a good opportunity to score, which I do. So that's gonna be the first game. Let's hop into the next one. All right guys, jumping into the final game then. So this is just a video just to kind of reintroduce myself back into the daily videos, but of course let me know whether I've like missed anything, whether you want to hear my opinion on something specific. But of course my expertise is always going to be around like the meta and whatever else, so be interested to hear what you guys want to see in terms of those types of videos. So in terms of what it really means for me though as a player, it won't really change too much. You know, I have basically every single brawler in the game. It's going to change too much. Maybe in my free-to-play progression it's going to help a lot, because you know, I don't want to be waiting like a couple of years to get a legendary brawler. You know, I once was a free-to-play player back in like the beta days, and you know, I was waiting like a year to complete the collection on all my brawlers because of just a luck factor. Like I don't really like the luck factor in certain games. Like you could even spend a lot of money, right? You don't even have to be a free-to-play player, and you still might not have every single brawler in the game, because you're literally relying on the luck of the draw to get the brawlers that you want. So it's definitely going to be a nice change. It's just going to be a lot different, and people don't really like change a lot of the time. So I think once people get used to it, it'll be really cool, because of course why wouldn't you like the option to choose which brawler that you want, right? Like a lot of people don't like, you know, Meg for example. So you know, if you had a choice between like Meg and Spike, of course you're going to be picking like Spike so yeah, that's definitely a cool thing about it. But this surely has to be one of the biggest updates of the year, just because of like the time of it. Like there's going to be a bunch of cool skins as well. You know, normally I don't really look forward to skins in updates, but because it's Brawler Days, you know, it's going to be a cool update. Brawler Days is always fire. You know, I've watched Kara's video as well, and he did mention that there's a big chance of maybe being a legendary brawler as well. You know, December updates, there's seen quite a few legendary brawlers, so maybe we could see even a new legendary brawler with this update. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see something new like that as well. You know, I wonder how like your chances of getting a new brawler are, because I guess like Brawl Pass, I mean, maybe they keep the Brawl Pass with a brawler at the end. I don't know, there's just so many questions about it. I'm really excited for this new update. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Buster, he's still really insane, but the thing about him is that of course he can still be countered. There's still quite a few counters with him, you know, even like Ash for example, you know, Primo. There's definitely a few ways you can counter him. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.